about the past. He's quoting the Bible again. Indeed, I think we have to move ahead. And as the good book says, we should forget the former things. We should not dwell on the past and see that new things are being done, and we are ready for that. He's talking about the IMF deal and the fact that it's going to require us to somehow support the government. So he says collective effort of the Ghanaian people will work through our current challenges and emerge stronger than before. I think the problem is the person that the message is coming from. Because I mean, it's true, we have to accept our lot and think about how to move forward. Dwelling on the past, I mean, but the fact is, this is exactly what they have been doing. Do they not dwell as far back as the previous government to find reasons why we are in this situation? Mm-hmm. That's what they do all the time. So when they say don't dwell on the past, now that we are here, you've gone to beg for whatever bailout. Now we shouldn't dwell on the past. What is this convenience of truth that politicians have taken so much for granted that they don't even think we notice anymore? They think that they can simply reinvent the truth to suit them, and we will not notice. Look, I was watching a clip of Gabi Asare-Oshiri speaking on Newsfile when John Mahama's government went to the IMF. The things he was saying: "Oh, we have overborrowed. Any government that goes to the IMF, it is a sign of failure." This was Gabi Asare-Oshiri. That if you go to the IMF, you have failed. And I mean, I agree with him. But when they went to the IMF, it wasn't a sign of failure. It was the previous government that did it. It was COVID that did it. It was Ukraine that did it. Always somebody else, not them. And now we shouldn't dwell on the past. And look at the person who is saying don't dwell on the past. The person who dwells on the Old Testament for everything he has to say.
Yeah. Well, you see, you can. Well, this is the thing about history. Standing in the present, looking into the past, in order to shape your future, we would look at the past, but we'll look at the immediate past. Okay, because you've been finance minister for 6 years, it's important we look at the things that you did, and we ask ourselves the very simple questions: have you been able to achieve the targets that you set for yourself and for all of us as a country? You see, this is the problem here. When it doesn't go well, all of a sudden the government finds ways of blaming others. When it begins to go well, then the government takes the credit. In fact, one of the things you're going to realize very soon is the government telling you how through their policies and initiatives, everything is going on so well. So our going to the IMF was not because we had mismanaged our economy. We went to the IMF because we wanted liquidity support, because we wanted a balance of payment support, and that was because of the external problems. Look, in 2019, we were warned. That was before COVID. We knew. And listen to this carefully. We exited the IMF program in 2019. 2019. April, that's when we did our party. The Kinky and Wachi party. Now, that's when we exited the IMF. By end of 2019, we were warned. Immediately we left the program, we started borrowing anyhow. So if you look at it technically, a lot of the success that was achieved by this government was achieved during an IMF program. Post that IMF program, we have been struggling, and now we say we want to go back. Now we've gone back to the IMF. We will dwell on the past because we want to shape our future. We want to say that never again shall we go back to the things that took us to where we are today. It starts with you, Ken Ofori-Atta. But it's just a gentle reminder. Now that you finished with the IMF deal, can you now resign, or the president will fire you? Because that was a promise.
But we shouldn't dwell on the past without wanting.